that card specifically, which is a very popular card within the hobby, is down almost $200. It's just a great representation of what his market is doing across the board.
Yeah, so we are live, of course, not only here on the Football Card Quest, but on Power Hour NFL. We're going to take as many questions and comments as we possibly can. And now we get to Trevor, one of the more interesting card market QBs in the history of all sports cards. Andy, it's very strange, Trevor Lawrence. I actually thought he played okay this past weekend. The QBRs don't state it. Travis Hunter and my guy BTJ didn't do him a whole lot of favors. But overall, I look at this AFC South, it's open. It's wide open. Is anyone truly fearing the 2-0 Daniel Jones Colts right now?
They should be. I mean, I know we're only through week 2, and I don't want to overreact, but at the same time, I'm looking at the strength of the Colts defense as well, and how well Daniel Jones is playing, and just like the play calling. Like, you study a lot of film. Look at the play calling with Shane Steichen and the Indianapolis Colts, and the strength of Daniel Jones rushing, Jonathan Taylor rushing. They have that to fall back on. The offensive line is holding up much better than the Jags, the Texans, so it's like I look at that as well, and I'm thinking, well, this Colts team is legit, and it'll be interesting to see how long they keep this up.
Yeah, wow. So I'm in a little. That was one of the luckier wins. And then in week 1, they beat the worst team in the NFL. But, I guess you can argue Shane Steichen might be the best coach in the AFC South right now. DeMeco Ryans and the Texans are spiraling. They choked away a game to your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, yeah, as far as Trevor's card market is concerned, Andy, we talked about him as a player. And we've talked about him in the football card world. First off, I've always wanted to point this out. Trevor actually likes football cards. He did his own top set. He's done a lot of signings with other card influencers and so on. So what would you do right now with Trevor Lawrence's card market, because he is only 26 years old?
Man, it's tough. He could drop down as low as what we see for backup quarterbacks. Now, he's still got a considerable value difference above Justin Fields.
Yeah.
For example, you look at his Optic Silver rookie ticket auto. It's going to be hard to find PSA 10s, but a PSA 9 for $276 that ended in auction yesterday, compared to the beginning of the season, Saturday, September 6th, that card was $400. And so we're seeing a big decline in Trevor Lawrence values, but he's not as low as Justin Fields. And then he's certainly way above Mac Jones, the newest backup going up this week. So there's a lot of room. The reason I say that is because there's a lot of room for his cards to continue to drop. This offense looks very dysfunctional to me. The fact Trevor's over there brushing off Liam Cohen, like there is dysfunction. The film looks like BTJ's trying to avoid contact and not wanting to catch the ball. I don't know if those were like honest, genuine drops, or if he was literally like scared to get his head taken off, because he did have a bad concussion last year, and maybe that's in the back of his head. So I just know that this team is very dysfunctional right now. The defense is mid. Like, the defense is actually pretty fast and aggressive. They're getting pressure, and they definitely got home to Burrow and Browning this past week. So I think this team has potential, but they're so dysfunctional right now. I'm really interested to see if they get it together, but I do see Trevor's, just with this start, I see his cards getting lost amongst the rest of the league and going down a lot further in value.
Yeah, I could see it too. I mean, I'm not in love with this Jaguars team, even though they've mostly played good football. They should be 2-0. But that defense, I do like that Travon Walker is playing better, but we're not here to talk about Travon Walker. We're here to talk about QBs. But we are going to talk about more first overall picks. Travon Walker was certainly that. We say hi to Warchild. We say hi to Jonathan, Chowks, Craig, Matt. We're going to get to all of your comments. Once again, if you super chat, we go straight to your comment. Andy, I do want to bring up what to do with Joe Burrow cards.
Mm.
Okay. Obviously, if we were to list what our viewers have invested money into in terms of modern QBs, Joe Burrow's probably in the top 5. He's definitely in the top 5 of overall card transactions since the card boom. And he, along with a few others, are hurt right now. The difference is Joe's injury of these 5 that are on the screen. And if you're listening on podcasts, it is J.J. McCarthy to the far left, Brock Purdy, Jayden Daniels, and Justin Fields. Joe's injury is the most severe because he will be out multiple months for the turf toe. So I saw you tweet about this, Andy. Let's verbally talk about his overall card market and the dip that will probably come from it.
Yeah, Joe Burrow right now, his prices have dipped a little bit, but it's not been an astronomical dip, and he's been the highest valued 2020 quarterback out of all the guys: Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Tua. He's been the most expensive quarterback for a couple years now, and his prices are going to continue to fall here. I know they're 2-0, but this setback, 3 months minimum. I mean, we're talking the end of December, so it's like if they make the playoffs, if they're able to make the playoffs, then I see his values coming back up in January. Otherwise, I see this as a potential. Like right now, if you've got a substantial Joe Burrow inventory, to liquidate a good portion, just because the play calling, man, and you're big on studying this film, but this team, and I'm reading what the analysts are talking about with the Bengals. Like, the play calling is just atrocious. It's bad.
Oh, so you're of the belief that some of our diehard Burrow collectors, or more importantly, Burrow flippers in this context, you think they should be looking to move some Joey B cards at this second?
Yeah, I do. I feel
Interesting.
that there could be a cliff coming up for Joe Burrow, that I think his values could end up getting washed up and like just falling down to like that Jalen Hurt, which is not a bad level, but that's a substantial drop from where they're currently at. And so I think
Wow.
over the next potentially year, his cards the supply could go up 50%. If the supply of his cards go up 50%, then the price is also going to drop to a new norm of 50% lower than what they're at now. Right? And so I feel like this is writing on the wall. Yeah, I retweeted and quoted a tweet about the amount of hits and sacks he's taken. He's
Yeah.
already exceeded the numbers of David Carr and Andrew Luck, who both retired early because of taking too many hits. And so Joe Burrow is entering now his 6th year. He's now suffered his 3rd major injury. And I feel like this is a cycle that's repeating itself. And the play calling is so vanilla with the Bengals that I feel like that this is not a good situation for people holding Joe Burrow bags like of cards. And then we could be approaching a cliff. I feel like we are, and I feel like it's time to
Wow.
sell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I couldn't disagree more. Okay.
Okay.
I have learned to not bet against number 9 of the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I do understand your point of view, and hey, if you want to move some of your Burrow stuff. Now, once again, it's a case by case basis, because obviously I'm a Burrow bag holder here, and my connection to him is probably deeper than many others. Okay, I flew to Cincinnati a few years ago just to spend 5 minutes with him. I mean, I love this guy. He's going to always be my favorite quarterback, along with Jayden Daniels. But Andy, I do think this is going to be a fun year if you're a football card nerd, because there are 3 quarterbacks from the same draft class whose stock couldn't be higher. Packers, Super Bowl favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers, top 5 in the Super Bowl odds right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles, the best Super Bowl odds right now. And those 3 quarterbacks are all a part of the same draft class. And Joey B's prices have always been ahead of those other 3. Now, those other 3 haven't necessarily been cheap, but Justin Herbert's cards have always been high, Andy, for someone who's not won a playoff game and not really been close to MVP status. But we always knew he was a prodigious talent. And then we have Jalen Hurts, who continues to win. We'll see what his market does because, people actually watch the games. He threw for 100 yards this past weekend. And then Jordan Love looks really good with the best roster in the NFC North right now. So it's going to be interesting. We've always talked about the 2020 class with Tua also being included in there, but he's not involved in this conversation right now. So, Andy, your thoughts overall on the 2020 quarterbacks?
Yeah, I pulled all 4 of those guys up. I excluded Tua just because he's a lot lower than these guys at this point. These guys are all pretty comparable to each other. And, you look at their market. I filtered down to the highest amount of sales in the past 30 days in the PSA 10 category. Herbert has crept up there. His Prism and his base absolute, people get in that PSA 10. You can see his base optic, his base mosaic, NFL debut mosaic. Those are all in the top 12 highest sold PSA 10 slabs for these 2020 quarterbacks in the past 30 days. So he's definitely gone up a lot. You can see the increase on the Jordan Love optic hollow to a new trend of 200. But look at the difference between Joe Burrow and these other guys. I mean, just on the base Prism PSA 10, you've got a $65 card for Hurts. You got a $58 card for Herbert. Jordan Love's, I got to scroll down a little bit. That's 53. So those are behind Joe Burrow's of $100. His are still above $100. So that's why I say sell Burrow now, because I think he gets down to this $50 range on these kind of cards.
For base PSA 10, yeah. I could definitely see that.
Maybe if you've got that one rookie ticket auto locked up in the safe, or something higher in for Burrow, you hold on to that and you really are riding, you're riding the ship out. You're riding that car till the wheels fall off. But, if you've got a variety of cards, liquidate these more common cards, because I feel like the supply is going to go up a lot on these, which means the price is going to come down to a more normal value of what Love and Hurts are at. These guys are on winning teams, and so is Herbert. You now got these guys on winning teams that are healthy, winning games, looking pretty good out there, all things considered.
And here's the wildest thing about it. All 4 of these QBs are technically 2-0 right now. So it's going to be wild. And I think this is going to be, to me, out of any years, because we've always had these very fun experiments. The fun experiment has always been Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen, right? In the same draft class. But here we have 4 quarterbacks of varying degrees of success. Now we'll see how people truly feel about certain assets and facets of football cards, because they're all pretty equal in terms of print run, pop count. Well, obviously Joe's is going to be higher, but still it's going to be really, really fascinating to see how these cards move. And maybe they're too old because everybody wants to get the next young thing. Everybody's more worried about getting Cam Ward stuff now.
Well, Cam has, struggled in his first 2 starts. I mean, he looks like a rookie quarterback, and the fact that he's not got the autos out there, I still think there's a lot of demand for these 2020 guys, especially the 3 that are winning and healthy. And I mean, you look at the numbers, Burrow's still leading like the PSA added to their database in the 7 days. He's got 341 cards compared to Justin Herbert at 163 and Jordan Love at 182. So there's a lot of people with cards sitting at PSA for Joe Burrow. They've got to figure out what to do with when they come back. And I think there'll be a lot of selling over the next few months for him, Carter. And that leads to a lot of people to buying backups. Like this, Carter, this week has been the poster week for people that love to speculate on backup quarterbacks. Why buy the Carson Wentz Prism PSA 10 at $15? Like, why spend the money? Well, this is why, for this week, the Jake Brownings. This is why I bought the Jake Browning in the offseason. But I'll tell you, Carter, just like we talked about with the play calling for Cincinnati, their schedule is brutal over the next few weeks too. And and somebody commented on their offensive line as well, which, yeah, that's obviously a big issue. I'm not optimistic on Jake Browning. I know he's serviceable, but I mean, and he led the final drive to help them barely squeak by and win this game, but he threw 3 interceptions. He looked really rusty. I just think that this whole situation, like I sold my Jake Browning Silver Prism rookie auto for $45. I got out. They're selling for $100 today. I get it. I bought that card for $15 though. I bought the card for 15. And the reason why I sold it for 45 is because I felt guilty. I felt bad for somebody paying $100 for that card because I know they're going to be stuck holding it. I don't think they're going up from there.
Let me ask you this about Jake Browning. Did you just have his Washington uniform auto, or did you what card was it?
Yeah, it was the Prism Draft Picks.
Okay.
Those college uniform, which all of his rookie autos are. He's got very few rookie cards. They're all like that.
God.
Yeah.
I blame the manufacturers. You should. Every manufacturer should print a rookie card of every quarterback that makes it to the NFL. I've always been a big proponent of that. Then, of course, you have McCorkle, Mac Jones, who balled out of control this past weekend with San Francisco getting the win. You know, I gave that play out for play of the week, I think a few months ago, because my connection was that Shanahan – there was legit steam that Shanahan wanted to draft him number 3 instead of Trey Lance. So he always thought McCorkle was a good fit for his system. And he looked good. He looked really good with no George Kittle either. So, yeah, I'm in on Mac. And that's good news because we have quite a few viewers who are burned on Mac Jones cards. And they're like, oh, I spent so much on it, I might as well hold it. And boy, Andy, they're rolling in the dough. They're screwed.
Yeah, this is the time to move them, man. This is definitely the time to move them. Yeah, the play calling is great for San Francisco. They've got a good front four. You've got a great run game. I mean, you've got weapons, pretty good weapons, and you're still out Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle. But I mean, you got Christian McCaffrey and Juwan Jennings back healthy. And Ricky Pearsall, who didn't really get the production this past week, but he's still a valuable member of the receiving corps. You see his Silver Prism PSA 10 sold in the buy now yesterday for $280, Carter. So let's just pop over here to Slabhawk and pop in Mac Jones and filter down to Panini Prism to see what that card, like how much profit could you have possibly made speculating on Mac Jones. And there it is right there, PSA 10. It got as low as a $71 auction July 27th. There was a couple buy it nows, like you can tell, like September 13th was last week. So that was Saturday before this past weekend's game. So Saturday, you've got the 175, and that was over the 71 in the summer. And now you're sitting at 280 yesterday. Oh, man, imagine that profit. You know, you hate to spend the $75 on a card for a guy that may not start at all. But now we've seen this. Now this is Brock Purdy's third significant injury, third or fourth maybe. So we're also seeing a little bit higher fragility rating for him if we had to give him a fragility score. And so those kind of guys are great flyers if you got the budget, because look, I mean, somebody made close to a $200 profit on that card.
McCorkle can get the football out, and it goes to show you, and this is the uncomfortable truth, because we do have a lot of people that spin big on quarterbacks and quarterbacks alone. All right. There's maybe 4 or 5 QBs that are going to work wherever they're going to go. But so much of this is fit. It really is just that. Like, I'm not sure if any quarterback's ever going to succeed in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield leaves, you give him Mike Evans, and that situation, he's going to ball out. Okay. Same thing with Caleb, who looks terrible. Him and Ben Johnson aren't the best fit. Ben wants to play to be ran the way it's supposed to be ran. That's not how Caleb wants to play. That's not how he's ever played. So, fit matters so much for QBs. And that's why we see a lot of quarterbacks go from one place and then they go somewhere else and succeed. And guess what, Andy? That's not only in the pros, we see it in college. We already see it. Like, I don't think people understand. Bo Nix was not a good quarterback at Auburn. He just was not a good quarterback. He was okay. But he goes to Oregon, competition gets a little softer, and he balls out of control. So fit matters so much for all these QBs. I will also say this. This will be my boldest take. It'll be clipped. It'll be shared. That's okay. Or it might not be. I'm not Adam Schefter or anything like that.
I'll share you, Carter.
But I'm not sure how much longer Joe Burrow is going to be on the Bengals. I know he's locked into that contract, but I'm not going to say that they're going to roll with Jake Browning or anything like that. The most likely scenario is Burrow's back with Cincy later this year or just the start of next year because of the Chase Higgins and Burrow's own contract. But it just would not shock me. It just would not shock me at all with the offensive line issues and him just wanting to get somewhere new. And the Bengals might just be wanting to get somewhere else new because this is going to be Joe's third year missing 6 or more games. It's frustrating, especially with an owner like the Browns who are cheap. They don't like paying labor and it not happen. So there you go.
Carter,
go
real
on.
quick, you on that talking about the fit just because this guy is such a huge name, college football, and I couldn't help but to notice that now Arch Manning's stock is down again. Arch Manning's stock continues to fall, and I think this is another fit situation here where I've been told that they could have won that game just by running the ball, and they didn't. And Arch Manning keeps trying to hit these home run plays and do these things, go above and beyond, but he's not executing at that level. So I just want to point out that his stock is down, but just like these other guys, like Mahomes, another example, stock is down again after another loss, right? I'm saying pump the brakes. Don't buy just yet on these guys because I know people are wanting to buy dips on guys like this, but I think pump the brakes. Wait another month because I think they're going to get cheaper. I'm very confident. This is my 5th year covering this like this, and I can see it happening just like someone who follows the stock market every week and they see these trends. I can see their prices getting lower by the end of October.
Okay, so Arch is a different thing because it's more celebrity than it is player. Let's stick with Mahomes here. Because there will be viewers of your channel, Andy, that has always viewed the Mahomes Prism rookie PSA 10 as unattainable. And we've always seen that card just always be at 4K. And the same thing is true with like his Donruss card. It's such an iconic card, that one as well. And that card's always in the thousands, if you will. And for a lot of people, that's a grail card for them. That's a card that they look for. I mean, it's like the Luka Prism rookie, if you will. Do you think there could be the dip on that where people could buy maybe in November around that area?
Yeah, I do. And it's already started with the PSA 9s. I mean, so the PSA 9s, I think the cards that are a little bit more affordable, more attainable for people are going to fall first, as like people that bought into the PSA 10s, the $1,000 plus cards, they're going to hold on a little longer. They're not selling as much. They're in for Patrick Mahomes, until the wheels fall off. They're in for the long ride. But if you look at his PSA 9 market, right off the bat, look at the base Donruss. The card's come down 38% in the past 30 days to now 343. So I've always seen like Patrick Mahomes, and this is similar to the raw card value. if you can get this card close to, like, I see we've got like an auto in there that's a anomaly, but if you can get this card for like close to $200 or lower, then that is going to be the buy point for Patrick Mahomes. And I do see it getting to that this year. I really do. I think it's another one of those slow start years for Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to get caught up in the midseason dip coming up. And this is going to be an interesting buy window. You got to make that decision. Are you gonna buy? Are you gonna not get in when it's that cheap? I regretfully didn't get in years past when it got that cheap, and I wish it did. So we might have another opportunity if it gets close to 200 for that card. I think that's a buy.
Interesting. Don't forget, please hit the like and subscribe. You can also smash the join button. Helps Andy in a major way, helps me in a major way as well. Okay. Before we talk a few more QBs, Andy, let's briefly go over a few skill guys. Obviously, one that's very interesting is Quentin Johnston. Looks like he's for real now. Big market. He's always been a good fit with how Herbert plays. QJ's an interesting guy. And actually quite a few under the radar skill guys have had some really good starts to the season. So is anyone interested you, Andy, through 2 weeks?
Interested me in terms of right now they're a buy low still.
Yeah, and I want before I answer that, Jonathan actually gave out Quentin Johnston as a play of the week, I think 2 months ago. So shout out to you, Jonathan. You're right on the money. But yeah, it could be QJ, it could be anyone as far as a football card, stock up, stock down, in your mind, Andy.
Well, yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of impact. A lot of it's not rookies. Like, we've really only seen a significant increase in the values of Tyler Warren and Emeka Egbuka. I can't really, off the top of my head, think of any other rookies that have really gone up. A lot of the other major guys like Genty and Ward and Travis Hunter, they've all gotten off to slow starts.
Yeah,
and so a lot of it is on previous on previous draft classes of guys. Like, obviously Tucker Kraft's gone up a lot. Wan'Dale Robinson is interesting for the Giants as somebody who has gone up a little bit in sold volume, but not a ton in value. I've also been really pleased with what I've seen from Javonte Williams with the Cowboys, and he's gone up in volume as well, but his card prices are still very cheap. And he's got like a bell cow role there for the Cowboys. And this is a team that's competitive. They're scoring points, and he looked really good last week. So he's an interesting guy. And then DeAndre Hopkins, man. I mean, dude, how many touchdowns is he going to have this year? I mean, he might have double-digit touchdowns by the end of the season. And this is a Super Bowl team in the Ravens, and his cards have gone up a little bit, but for how scarce they are from 2013, they could go up a lot more, especially as he's putting up one-handed touchdowns here and there. Like, just, dude, the guy is a beast. I mean, when it comes to contested catches in the end zone, yeah, I think DeAndre Hopkins could end up with double-digit touchdowns this year.
Oh, D-Hop love. I mean, the thing is, if we want to just keep it a buck, Lamar Jackson has been the best quarterback in the NFL over the past 5 years. He just makes stuff work. That's all. That's all there is. All there is to it.
He's good.
The dude is like one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen. All right, and is this finally going to be his year? He gets to the Super Bowl if he doesn't choke it away in the playoffs. I don't know, but he's so good. He's so good. And D-Hop, of course, in his own right, is very good. And I think if he can get to a Super Bowl again with the Ravens did last year with the Chiefs, he's probably going to make it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He might already be there. So there you go. Andy, it is time for hobby tip of the week. I'll let you go.
Yes, sir. Yeah, there's a lot of them this week, man. Well, I'm gonna highlight a few specific ones. This pre-sale. So guys, check out PaniniAmerica.net. They do have instance out right now. And what we've seen in the summer, those cards have been shipping in 4 to 6 weeks. They've already got the pictures taken and like they're already up on their website. It's ending today. So it's not going to last much longer, but they've got instant rookie cards up there for Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. He's got nothing on the market. If you think about it, when this card comes, you're going to have one of the very few rookie cards for a guy in a situation now with Austin Eckler done for the year and them trading away Brian Robinson. This is a very juicy situation for Krosky-Merritt, old Bill, and he's got no cards except for these instants that are getting ready to ship in a few weeks. So, and I will say Emeka Egbuka's on here at retail are nice as well because all of his cards, so this is my other hobby tip, $20, $25 is out. Still a practice jersey for Emeka Egbuka.
Interesting.
As a Bucks fan and somebody that wants to probably become a super collector of Emeka Egbuka at this point is how I feel. I'm gonna want to get. I'm not a big fan of the practice uniform. I'm not. So
wow.
Yeah.
So even I think we've discussed this privately that practice uniform cards do tick you off.
Yeah, it's just not that. I just feel like they're like kind of bootleg. It's like it's not the real deal. It's kind of janky. So when
Oh
I see
man.
that, I'm like, as someone who really wants to go in, it's not only they're overpriced right now because he's one of the only rookies who's excelling out of the gate, besides Tyler Warren, like I said, and it's coming from new product sets. So you have a double factor working against his values, that his values are very high. I mean, they're very high. So it's just with those two things combined, I'm like, nah, but I will buy these instants, and I have bought these instants off of Panini America's .net's direct website. So that has been great because you can get those and you can buy them as low as like $5 if you buy a pack of 10 to 25. And they grade very well at PSA. And the picture is from the game where he got his first touchdown. So it's like, what's not to like? Now, that's the first official rookie card for him and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt.
Interesting. Oh man. I think it is going to be weird if Bill ends up having the best rookie running back season, because everyone told us that this running back class was great, including myself. And Amarion Hampton's fumbling. That fumble wasn't totally his fault. It was a really good play by a really good player for the Raiders, Mr. Crosby. But it's been tough sledding for some of these youngins. It's been, and like you said earlier, Andy, it's been tough sledding for this entire rookie class up to this point. For me, hobby tip of the week is always go to card shows. Always. I've been doing some private consulting for some card shows just because they know I do this. And the card shows, it's very important to know that the vendors or the people that actually throw these card shows are really putting in a lot of work. Okay. Now, I say all of that, Andy, because I promise you we're going to get back into player takes and all that stuff. But I want to bring up an ethical debate. Okay. Look, that card is just sick. That is a really good
right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
Okay. So this has been something about card shows that has been passed around. There's now people that put up signs that say, if you are not a vendor, you can't sell cards at a card show. And basically, you get what I'm saying? There's
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay. So to explain this better, basically people that set up at card shows and they have a table, you have to pay for that table. Okay. And the prices vary for the table, the show, how many tables you get. So you can put your cards out and people go around and buy them. What can happen at card shows is I could go to the show as a non-vendor, but I can also be looking to sell cards. And they're not preventing people that go to shows from selling cards to the vendors. They're preventing customers of the card show to selling the card to other customers. Okay. And they said you're immediately banned and kicked out of the show, no refund, if they see you doing that. Now, most card shows don't have this. But Andy, your thoughts on that very thing?
Well, if it's egregious, like I'm a type of person where I don't think it should be black and white. I think you should look at a case by case basis. Like if I'm at a table and another guy's at a table and we're looking at the card, but we start to conversate and I start to tell him, yeah, I'm looking for, or I'm like really a super collector of Mike Evans, this and that. And he's like, really? Well, I've got a Mike Evans red prism, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I start talking to this guy and I make a deal with him. I think it would be appropriate that we take that outside of the card show, because in a way it is disrespectful to the card dealer there. Now, if I'm a guy who's walking around with, and I think that should be okay. Like, I don't think someone should be reported for having done that, for like networking and finding a card they're looking for and stuff like that. But if it's egregious and somebody's walking around with a box of cards or a book bag and this and that, trying to like actively pursue people in the show and sell cards to them, yeah, get it. That's, come on, dude, pay for a table. All these other people have paid $100 or $35 or whatever the case is for a table to be here to sell cards, and you're doing something that's causing a distraction, and it's I think that is a little unethical. It's egregious, and that should be stopped. But it's not black and white. I think it should be taken like on a case by case basis.
Yeah, let's say a card show is like lightly vendored, right? It's not sold out. The tables aren't sold out. Don't just go to an open table and set up shop for free. Don't do that.
Yeah,
I've seen people do that. The second thing is, do not, if someone is in the middle of a negotiation or chatting over business, do not interrupt that business. Okay. I have always gone above and beyond to make sure I'm not interrupting a deal. Okay. Or if I butt in and I point at something or whatever, it drives me nuts when people do that, because you're in that spot from time to time where you're behind the table, someone's trying to sell a card to you, and someone actually butted in on a deal that I did at a card show. I'm not sure if it cost me the deal or not, but I was like, wow, that's insane that someone would do that. So with card show etiquette, understand that there is money involved. And we always say, don't just treat everything that we do as a business, but at the same time, don't interrupt business transactions if you're not involved. Now, as far as banning people from card shows and all that stuff regarding that, I think it is a little harsh to do something like that. I really do think so. And as Jonathan points out, there's trade nights normally after these shows where anyone could just sit down anywhere and set up and all that. Okay. Now,
banning is harsh. I agree. Banning is harsh.
So before we get to a few comments, Andy, I want to get to play of the week. All right, because I have one that is just sitting so heavy with me right now. It's one of the clearest backup quarterback plays of the week I can remember.
Well, before you do that, I got a couple more hobby tips.
All right, we'll keep going.
Of urgent nature, sir.
Okay, well, let's go.
So be careful doing this. So 2025 Donruss was just released yesterday. Big set, right? A lot of breakers are ripping this right now on Whatnot, YouTube, all kinds of live platforms. Right here, we have a Travis Hunter downtown. Carter, first impressions of the pictures, the Jaguars, they're lounging in the thing. Is that Trevor Lawrence in Jaguar form right there?
Yeah. I like that one. The Matthew Golden one was kind of, but yeah, I get down with it.
So this picture right here, the seller needs to be careful, because what they've done, I'm very confident in saying this, is they've taken a screenshot from the breaker of that was ripping their break, and they went ahead and listed it before they took possession of this card to try and capitalize as much as possible on the brand new card hype, the having the only one listed on eBay. So you can see they list it for $1,750. If you go to 130point.com, they sold it for $800. And not good transaction, right? Like the Malik Neighbors card we talked about selling for $450. So to see the Travis Hunter go for $800, that's very impressive. But that seller hadn't yet likely not taken physical possession of that card and went ahead and sold it. So be careful, because what if the breaker doesn't actually send you that card? What do you do then? And you got to refund and go through this whole process, and you get your reputation dinged.
All right, that actually is a good hobby tip. I see people do that all the time. The screenshot. All right, let's keep them going, Andy. You're
so real quick, just a quick take on the cards that you potentially want to look for out of 2025 Donruss, what they look like. They have these rated rookies retro. As you can see, the Tet McMillan selling for $10 here. These are going to be about $5 to $10 cards. I wouldn't pay more than that for them. Like the Ashton Genty, don't pay $20, $30 for that card for Ashton Genty. I do think he's going to get better, but it's just not worth that in the long run. I get why someone did that for Travis Hunter, but I wouldn't have done that. I would have bought the Malik Neighbor. Are you kidding me? If I'm spending $800 on this, I'm not buying Travis Hunter downtown. I'm sorry. I'm buying a Malik Neighbors. Like that's kind of crazy to me. But like, for example, here's the Ashton Genty. I'd rather have the Tet McMillan rated rookies retro than the Ashton Genty rookies, the rookies at the same price. What about you, Carter?
Yeah, I would too.
You would too? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then couple more cards to look at. They got throwbacks this year, throwback rated rookies. You can see these are selling for between $5 and $10. This is Shedeur Sanders. It's got the rated rookie logo. So one thing I think I'll hold this card value, but it's going to be like this card value forever, pretty much. It's not going to be one of those cards where you're going to make a bunch of money. The upside's capped unless you're grading getting PSA 10. This Isaac Tesla, I noticed, sold for $30, which is wild. I do believe it's not even serial number. It's just a purple press proof. Right off the bat, I noticed, man, white corner. That's going to be fairly common with this set because these are foil thin cardboard cards. So the whitening on the corners is going to be more common. This card would not grade out well. You're literally buying this because you cannot stand to not have an Isaac Tesla rookie card in your hands of him in pro uniforms. Like, that's the one good thing from this set, Jackson Dart selling twice as much right now as Shedeur Sanders out of that same set. The rated rookie throwback for him selling for $20, Carter.
You're going to have to wait for the Dart debut with Russell playing the way that he's playing right now. We'll see if it's just a Cowboys thing. Russell Wilson in the toughest spot a QB can be in this next week, playing the Chiefs that are also 0-2. So we'll see how Russell does this weekend.
And then here's the Emeka Egbuka. So, like, I looked at this and I'm thinking, well, it's just like virtually the same photo that he's had out of Donruss Elite. And, it's got the rated rookie logo, but give me that Panini Instant for the same price because it's from an actual game and he's, geared up, and this is just from practice. So I'm not crazy about that. I think $6 is a little expensive for the long run. I do see his usage going down a little bit when Chris Godwin's healthy, but we'll see. We'll see, Carter. And then my last hobby tip, I found this was fascinating. It's not even a sale, which I'm not sure how long this is going to stay up here on Blowout Cards. We've talked about the 2024 Optic mega boxes being $110. Well, I didn't see this last week. Now they have 2024 Prism mega boxes at $75. And this is an absolute steal at this price.
Wait, like, I'm looking at a mega for $75?
A mega for, dude, that's only that's only like $15-$20 higher than retail. And we're talking the 2024 class. So you're chasing silver prisms for Jayden Daniels, Bo
Oh, okay.
Nix, get the
I
whole
I
all the
I see what
quarterbacks
you're
are like that.
saying. Yeah, I mean, it is more expensive than if you would have gotten off the shelf in Walmart, but 75, I guess, isn't that bad. It just depends.
And yeah, and for it to be $35 cheaper than the optic, Prism Silver sell for more than optic hollows.
Ah, I see what you're
So,
doing. Yeah.
that's what you're chasing. Like, I mean, I'd be chasing this box. I'd be buying this box all day. I mean, look at the price of Mosaic. Mosaic mega boxes selling on here for 65, and you're telling me for $10 more, I can get the very number one unanimous like top retail set for every year in the football card market for an extra 10. So I don't know if this is a mistake, but I mean, these are very good value on here right now. Very good. Like, I
Yeah.
don't even need to go Google or eBay search what they're selling for on eBay because this is a steal.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would guess so as well. It just depends on, the opinion on sealed wax has changed so much. Uh, I love it. I'll never sell my 2020 boxes from Prism because I just want to get rich one day and rip it with a clear conscience, basically.
So they're
Um,
selling about the same on eBay. I mean, I thought they'd be selling for more. So there's something I don't know about the Prism Megas from 2024, maybe. So that's kind
yeah,
of weird.
that's why I was like, is that really that good of a deal? But basically, to your point, if this rookie class continues to play well, you would think the price of this will go up. I've not checked.
Yeah.
Look at let's do a sold items check real quick. 2020 Prism Football Mega Box. Let's see how my investments are looking right now. Okay, those are hangers,
Yeah,
blasters.
blaster box and
That's a hobby.
uh, four. I mean, four divided by 820. I don't need to be a mathematician to tell that's about $200 a box, brother.
Yeah, yeah, and they've been up to about $300 a box. So there you go. I mean, the difference is, of course, you could pull a Joe Burrow auto out of that. You can pull a Jayden Daniels auto out of the Prism Mega, but you can't pull a JJ McCarthy. You can't.
Yeah, and if you can't pull numbered cards, that really sucks. And if you can't pull case hits, that also really sucks. I think a lot of people are either just buying singles or picking up hobby boxes. I had terrible luck last week with Donruss Elite mega boxes. But if you like dig into the Reddit forums, like people that are ripping a lot of retail football boxes, they say the best hit rates like are on the mega boxes. And I did that research for 2024. There was really good reviews on the Prism mega boxes. So just being able to get silver prisms and rookie cards, I think that's like the big chase, or just colored parallels rookie cards, and also getting the good players. Like Jayden was printed a lot in Prism, and so
So
was
let me ask
yeah.
Josh this. I had heard this about 2024. Was this the case in 2020 that you couldn't pull numbered cards out of megas or case hits in mega boxes?
That didn't start until just the past like 2023 or something,
Oh, okay.
or
All
even
right. I was about to
2024.
say because I'm
They
pretty
just
sure.
started doing that.
Okay, well then that would explain the prices on that being lower. So,
Unfortunately.
all right, are you done spitting your wisdom?
Go ahead,
You had
man. Play of the you patiently waited for play of the week. I mean, I
you,
know
you,
your play of the week is not going to be good, but go.
you
This is
had
your time.
more tips than a Hooter server right there. I mean, goodness
That's a lot. You
gracious.
get a lot of tips as a Hooter server.
Well, my play of the week is Malik Willis. It's just the clearest thing I've
Ooh.
seen. Rookie select autos. I saw one for like $15. If Jordan Love goes down, Malik Willis steps in. Does the offense fall off? Yeah, it does. Jordan Love's better than Malik Willis. But Malik Willis is the perfect backup quarterback because it's hard as a defense to prepare for Jordan Love. And then Malik Willis comes in and he has the threat of being able to run. And then on top of that, even if he's not that good, the Packers are probably still going to be very good because their defense is so damn good with Micah Parsons. So to me, as far as backup quarterbacks are concerned, we've seen Jordan Love have some injury problems in the past. Malik Willis, to me, is one of the clearest handcuff QBs I could think of. So if you're a handcuff backup, Browning, Mac Jones speculator, Malik Willis should be your next play.
Solid, man. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Hold on before you give your tip of the week. Josh follows up and says no case hits or numbered cards in 2020 megas either. Okay, Josh, that's interesting. See, I had thought I had heard that about 2024. I didn't know as much about cards back in 2020 as I do now. So that is interesting. Maybe people just don't care as much about megas, which is why you see the price. But that's a big thing. You could still pull the autos of all the big guys. You can't in 2024.
Yeah, autos are a big chase factor, and especially now, and maybe that's the big reason why the megas are so much cheaper, because I'm thinking like I've never ripped a ton of seal wax, so I didn't know you couldn't get numbered cards in 2020 Prism megas either.
See, I thought you could.
I thought you could get case hits too. Like I know a lot of guys, like you can get downtowns out of retail megas for optic. So why can't you get case hits out of Prism, like Color Blast, for example? Why don't they put that into retail Prism? That's kind of a shame. If they're going to put other autograph cards in there, put some hits in there, man. But, make people want to chase it a little bit more. Maybe that's why the prices have gone down so much. The allure of retail boxes has gone down so much since 2020. I mean, your mega box from 2020 is worth $240. Then it's got to be the autographs, because you've got a potential to pull a Herbert, Burrow, Hurts autograph, Jordan Love autograph in there.
Yeah. Let's go to your play of the week, Andy.
So my play of the week this week is Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. You talked about the 2018 comparison, man. The Bucs are 2-0, right? We're gonna do our quick picks here in just a second, but the Bucs are 2-0. They've also playing the Jets this weekend against backup Tyrod Taylor. In what looks like an easy offense for us to just tee off against. And the Jets have been, dude, look how easily the Buffalo Bills ran all over the Jets. The Steelers ran all over the Jets in week 1, plus passed all over them. So this is going to be a big game for the Bucs. Emeka Egbuka is going to have another big game. Baker Mayfield's tough, man. He's durable. You saw the hits he took. And if you compare his prices to Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, or if you look at touchdowns for the past, there was a stat that I saw about Baker Mayfield. I know he's thrown some interceptions too, but Baker Mayfield is in terms of performance wise, he's got some elite metrics in different categories, Carter. And his prices with a scarcity from 2018 that's unmatched in today's market are very cheap. Like base Donruss PSA 10 30 days is only up 5%. You're still at an average of $55 on that card. That's compared to Lamar Jackson at 120 and Josh Allen at 250. And I get it. Josh is super Josh. But to have that huge of a difference, and I'm not saying he should be at 120 with Lamar or 250 like Josh, unless he leads the Bucs to a Super Bowl, right? But the Bucs have won the division the past 3 years in a row, or maybe it's like the past 5 years in a row, and we're getting off to a 3-0 start. So what we've seen in the market in the past 5 years, you're getting off to a 3-0 start. Your cards are almost all cases like doubling in value, or at least going up 50 to 70% in value. And so I think you've got a matchup this weekend where the Bucks just light up the scoreboard, crush the Jets, and the Bucks are 3-0. The Baker Mayfield early MVP conversation continues to happen.
Interesting. I like it. Yeah, because we had people in the comments earlier saying Baker's gotten to be so expensive. There we go. Don says he thinks Jackson Dart is starting by week 7. Yeah, I mean, they got to play him at some point. Even if Russell plays well, they did start 0-2. They're not going to be any better. The truth, though, is a lot of you have eyes. This isn't bias or anything like that. Okay, and before I say what I'm about to say, you can see here.
How to pull it up.
That is insane. That is very insane. Obviously, his numbers are going to be better than Mahomes.
Obviously?
Yeah. I mean, because the Chiefs' offense has been neutered over the past couple of
seasons. It has been neutered past couple of
years. I'm not saying Baker's better than Mahomes. They're not close. But the Bucks have had a big time offense. You can't deny that at all. You can make a case, skill position guys wise, they're top 5 in the NFL, and Baker is enjoying the fruits of that labor there.
Yes, sir. So and the prices are so much cheaper. And I do like the auto cards, the more scarce cards of Baker, they've gone up a lot. And I'm lucky to have bought some just because I'm a Tampa Bay fan. I bought him when he first came over here, and his card prices were still very cheap. So I'm holding those. I'll probably hold those so the wheels fall off. But I mean, I'll sell them before his career's done, obviously. But I'll sell them much higher than what I bought them for, and that's that. But I still think as those, Carter, we see this as those expensive cards get out of people's reach. Once those cards get a couple $100 or more, people start buying the base Donruss PSA 10s, the base optic PSA 10s, the optic hollow PSA 10s, those cards in that middle tier with good grades. And those cards start going up a lot. And I think that's what we're going to start seeing for Baker Mayfield. And it starts after this weekend when they go 3-0.
God, dude, you're so confident, dude, that they're gonna get it done this weekend.
Well, that's one of my locks this week. I mean, we go through the picks. Another lock is the Colts of the Titans. I mean, it's a lock, man. It's a lock.
Oh, dude, I gave last week. One of my favorite picks was Titans in the points versus the Rams. I thought for sure that was looking good, but no.
And what was my lock was the Patriots at the Dolphins, and I did get the win. Oh, I did beat the spread. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Dolphins were favored.
Stick with me, guys.
Yeah. Let's go to next week. Let's get the picks. I was ready to do that.
All right. Thursday night, Dolphins go to Buffalo.
Dear Lord, 12.5. I'd probably be on the Buffalo side of that. It's as sad as that sounds.
Yeah, I mean, 12.5's a lot. I feel like the Dolphins were competitive last week, but they're so dysfunctional, man. Their defense is bad. Their secondary is so bad, and their front seven looks old and slow. And I don't know, man. I think going with the Bills here, even though that's a big number.
My favorite play actually is the I actually didn't prep one. I totally blanked.
Dude, what is Joe Flacco gonna do against this Packers front defense? I mean, they're gonna be able to blitz with 3 guys and get home 6 times on Joe Flacco in this game. I think this is a blowout here by the Packers and Browns. They're only giving Green Bay 7.5 points. I mean, that's easy to me. I would be one of those any given Sunday miracle situations that the Browns somehow cover that spread after the way they looked last week against the Ravens.
Give me the Broncos plus 2.5. Why not?
So we're going all the way down to Broncos here?
Yeah, 2.5. Scroll up a little bit.
Did I pass them? Oh, Broncos at Chargers.
Give me
2.5. Okay. Oh yeah.
Give me 2.5.
I'll take that.
Yeah. AFC West. I think the Broncos still have the better roster, but give me that.
What about? Go ahead.
No. Commanders 3.5. A banged up Commanders team hosting the Raiders.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz for who?
You think Carson Wentz is going to start, or is Jayden going to play?
No. Carson Wentz is a backup for the Vikings.
Oh, he's on Minnesota.
Yeah. Wentz is with the Vikings and Mariota's with the Commanders.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I got those mixed up. Needless to say, I did not pick up any Carson Wentz. I saw his card values doubled this week. I looked at just like still cheap, but just keep in mind they were half of that. Base optic PSA 10 was 15. Now it's up to 30.
Yeah,
you know,
he's gonna start. I've given Wentz out as a play of the week in the past. Last year with the spot start for the Chiefs where he looked terrible, but the Chiefs also just gave that game up. So there you go. Now, I do want to include that Malik Neighbors is truly insanely good at tackle football.
Mm-hmm.
That wide receiver performance this past weekend was so good. There's just not. I mean, the other two wide receivers that are better than him right now are also from LSU, and that's it. That was one of my bold.
He had one drop that I know he wanted back. He had one drop that I was like, oh, man, he should have caught that. It was right at the same time Brian Thomas was making one of his drops.
Yes, it was actually simultaneous. They dropped it like –
I almost texted you, like, what's going on with these LSU receivers? And then all of a sudden Malik Neighbors is just doing crazy things out there.
That was my hottest take, is that by the end of the year, Malik Neighbors would be the number 3 receiver in the NFL. And I think we're there.
It's like with the way Russell Wilson went off this past weekend with Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson, and Cam Skattebo's role increased a lot. They really, I mean, I couldn't believe they end up losing that game at the end of overtime. But it's like, if he continues to play like that, how do you start Jackson Dart? I know Jackson Dart got in there on one play, like it was a design run play, and they put him in there, which was interesting. But like, how do you start Jackson Dart if Russell continues to put up that kind of points on a weekly basis?
Yeah, well, all right, y'all. Fun show today. Thanks to TCB Rips. He said this show rocks. Well, we appreciate you.
I appreciate that, man.
Hey, that's it. We are live every Wednesday at noon Central, 1 Eastern. Or no, that would be. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we'll see y'all next week. Peace out. Boom.
Hi, y'all. Boosh.